Hello viewers, welcome to our lecture series on Indian Ethos in Management, and this is going to be part 4 of our lectures on Indian Ethos in Management. And we have been talking about the basic key components of Indian Ethos when it comes to implementing it in the field of management as a discipline. And we already had a discussion on the key components of that. We had a discussion on the Nishkam Karma and Sakam Karma Yoga, what we call as the selfless attitude towards your work. We should not get attached to whatever we are working. We should not have that karta bhav when we are performing any duty. And that actually brings a kind of purification to our personality. And that is something which is quite amazing. I may sound little spiritual when I use this kind of statement, but my dear learners, as a manager, in due course of time you would realize that yes, it is so satisfying when you have that feel that I'm simply performing my duties with dedication, commitment, integrity and honesty, and the result is in the hands of Almighty. Result is bound to come. And that is going to reduce the level of stress also, which we are witnessing in most of the business organizations nowadays. And they are facing the problem of high rate of attrition. When it comes to retaining their employees, it has become a challenge, and when the attrition rate is high, it actually results into different other problems like retraining or organizing training for new people whenever they join. Because if you have frequently if you have people joining your organization frequently or leaving your organization frequently, then of course you need to retrain your workforce, and that requires a lot of cost, and eventually it is going to reduce the profitability of your business enterprise. So with this as a background, my dear learners, I am going to tell you the kind of change this Indian Ethos can bring in the field of management as a discipline. So let us start this segment of our lecture with the manager's mindset. When a manager is working with the mindset of traditional management, traditional way of managing the things, which is known as general concept, and what happens, and when they follow the IEM concept, that is Indian Ethos in Management concept, the kind of change in the orientation they are witnessing, that I am going to present before you. So if I talk about the results, the general concept is that a manager is supposed to produce results. So result oriented, or what you call as outcome based performance is needed if we follow the general concept of management. Whereas IEM says that we are not supposed to produce results, we are supposed to produce performers. The employees who are basically working in your organization, they should become performers. So if you follow the traditional concept, the general concept of management, which is based on Western philosophy, it talks about producing results only. So which means, suppose today you have 10 people working and you have given a target to them, they would work like a machine and they would produce the result. But what about the next time? Next time again you need to motivate them with the same rigor, with the same vigor to achieve the goals. So producing result is basically their focus point, whereas in IEM concept we have to produce performance. And once you have generated performers in your business setup and they have that self-discipline within them, then of course they are going to perform each time, and every time they perform, they are going to give you the better level of performance, the higher level of performance. So, and that is why I told you about the good, better and best, and they are not going to rest till good becomes better and better the best. So they are going to give the best of best results when it comes to implementation of IEM concept. If we look at the other idea, that general concept is there, that managers are supposed to organize 5 M's, that is men, material, machine, money and method. So that is basically the orientation we are having in the business fraternity. Whereas if you look at IEM concept, they have to mobilize men and generate readiness. They are not supposed to organize men, material, machine, money and method. They have to simply collect. No, they have to simply mobilize men. It is actually the human resource which is very dynamic, and the moment you mobilize them, they are supposed to work proactively, and the other resources are automatically supposed to become active. So if you somehow mobilize men, if you somehow motivate men in or human resources in your, when I say men, it is basically gender neutral. I'm telling you about the human resources. If you are able to mobilize the human resources, you are able to generate readiness, your task is over. You're not supposed to go for collecting material, machine, money, method and everything, and every time you have to preach. No, you have to simply let that person feel, that manager feel that yes, this is my task, this and it belongs to me. The person is of course going to contribute towards the best results in that segment. Next, at the next level, when we talk about the general prevailing concept, we were saying that it is to plan, it is to set goals, it is to prepare schedules, checklist, and then supervise them. Whereas in case of IEM, if we look, these tasks are not needed. We believe that we have to simply obtain agreement and commitment on means and ends. So we don't need to go for preparing checklist, schedule, we are setting goals. This is basically, this belongs to execution part, and this is not something which is to be discussed at length. We need to simply obtain agreement and commitment on the same goals. That see, your goal is this and this is the goal of organizations, and we are connecting with each other. And obtaining agreement and commitment on means and ends, this is the simplest task which you are supposed to perform. And if you are able to achieve this, if you are able to somehow obtain the agreement and commitment of your workforce on means and ends, then there is nothing which is going to stop you from gaining success, from getting success, from achieving success. So this is the difference at level of planning. Normally, when we take planning as an activity, our objective was that what happened in the previous year, or what actually happened in the previous task, we take it as a base, and then we decide the future course of action. And for that, a lot of scheduling, checklisting, and goals and sub goals are being prepared and executed. Whereas the beauty of IEM is that it simply says that you need to have the agreement and commitment of your workforce, and your job is done. It is as simple as this. Now, when it comes to motivate, we have in the general concept of management which is prevailing as of now, we talk about motivating people, praising people, reprimanding people, punishing if they are not performing well. We are supposed to push them. This is what is going on. So we have the carrot and stick theory, carrot and stick approach, that if an employee is working properly, you need to motivate them by giving some rewards, and if the employee is not working or not producing results, you need to punish them. So reward and punishment theorem, it is basically the concept of it is basically the base of motivating or demotivating people or getting things done. Whereas if you look at the IEM concept, there is no place for punishment, there is no place for reprimanding, there is no place for even praise. You have to simply inspire, empower, celebrate success, and discuss about the failure. You have to draw people. So IEM concept says that you have to make your workforce your own. As an organization, they should feel that this company belongs to me. You have to inspire them whenever it is needed, inspired to work. You have to empower them. You have to give them some rights to perform their duties. You have to celebrate success. Whenever they are successful, you have to celebrate with them. So suppose if I am leading a specific team, I should not say that my workers have done work, so the moment I would celebrate, they would feel that they have done some better job and they would expect for some more rewards. No. In place of having that kind of inhibition, I should come out of my office and I should celebrate the success with my subordinate. And not only celebrating success, in case of failure, in place of simply putting it on the shoulders of somebody else, or blaming someone, or giving punishment to somebody, we should discuss about the failure. That see, failure is not bad. But repeating the same kind of failure is actually going to worsen the situation of our business enterprise. So we need to discuss about the failure just to ensure that the similar kind of mistake should not be repeated in the future. So this is what IEM suggests. And we have to draw people. And my dear learners, you would be surprised to note that even the Western thinkers, gradually they have realized the significance or importance of inspiring, empowering, celebrating success, discussing about failure. And they have included now even into their philosophy, and from where it is coming, that they may or may not show as a reference that this is my reference point. But my dear learners, the beauty of IEM concept is that you have to inspire people, you have to empower people. We don't have any place for prashansa. We believe into the sarahana. We believe into empowering people, inspiring people. We need to celebrate success. We should not praise, and the person should not work for any appreciation. The person, since the organization belongs to you, I don't need any kind of appreciation for whatever I have done. It is my duty, because you have already obtained agreement and commitment of mine on a specific job, which I told you that at the level of planning, what you need is simply obtaining agreement and commitment of your workforce. And once you have got it done, there is no need for preparing checklists, there is no need for preparing schedules, there is no need for preparing sub goals, targets, or small objectives. No, you have to simply obtain agreement and commitment of a person. So motivation is, even in terms of motivation, there is a huge difference when we compare the general prevailing concept of management with that of IEM concept. Next is checking, controlling and reporting at the command post. So in traditional prevailing management concept, we have to check, we have to control, and we have to report at the command post. Whereas if you look at IEM concept, we have to set personal examples. We have to be visible, accessible, and always on the move. So we are supposed to be with our employees, be with our workforce. We should not wait for them to commit some mistake, and then later on we can simply make them feel that yes, they have not performed well, they have not performed their duties. So in place of simply cursing an employee, simply demotivating an employee, or giving some kind of punishment is not going to suffice the purpose, is not going to serve your purpose. So that is not suffice. What is needed is that you have to set personal examples. You have to be visible, accessible, and always on the move. So these are some of the most prominent differences which I try to put in front of you, that what goes on in the mindset of a manager when a manager is looking at the entire business activities or entire discourse as per IEM concept and as per general concept. So these are the differences, and my dear learners, the difference is, the magnitude of this difference is so much so that it is going to change the way your organization is performing. It is going to change the attitude and aptitude of your workforce towards the organization. And if we somehow are able to implement it in letter and spirit, we are going to ensure that there is no attrition in your workplace. People would feel that this organization belongs to me, and I should work day and night for achieving the very goal of my organization. So that sense of belongingness is something which is very important, and nowadays unfortunately that is missing. Because people think that if I want a good jump in my salary, I need to change the organization. So they have basically that attitude, of that tenant attitude, that I am working here as a tenant and I am not the landlord, I am not the owner of this organization, I am simply working, I have got my salary, my job is done. I am in a 9 to 5 setup, I have to sit there whether I perform or not. So that attitude is something which is very fatal for the business enterprise, and that is not sustainable also. So my dear learners, I tried to give you a brief difference in the manager's mindset in terms of general prevailing management concept with that of IEM concept. So this was a comparative discussion on that. If we talk about, if we go ahead after controlling, we have certain other things also, certain other aspects also. If we talk about coordination, in case of coordination, we talk about requisition, we talk about convening several meetings, we have meetings and we have those discussions where we assign the duties, which is actually a generally prevailing concept as of now in the mindset of a manager, that I need to conduct several meetings, I need to coordinate with them. Whereas in case of IEM concept, the manager's mindset is to simply facilitate. I have to facilitate my workforce. You have to show ways to overcome obstacles. You have to take part in informal gathering. So in place of having long formal meetings, we should try to have informal gatherings, informal meetings, where during the work during the timing of your work on the job, you are with your followers, you are with your subordinates, and there you tell them that how to deal with these obstacles which you are witnessing in your business enterprise. And if you look at even the practical aspect, if you are calling the entire workforce for a meeting, say for about 2-3 hours, so those 2-3 hours, they become idle hours. They're not working. Practically speaking, they're not working. They're simply sitting in the meeting and listening to whatever speech you have given. Whereas if you are going on the job and showing them ways to overcome, and they take simply a break of 5-10 minutes when you are there with them, and you are telling them, you are showing them the ways to to overcome the obstacles. So you need to be more informal than being formal. So if we believe into the IEM concept, the manager's mindset becomes very informal. And my dear learners, we all know that the informal channel is always powerful and speedy than that of formal setup. So the communication is very fast into it. We don't deny to the relevance and importance of having a formal setup, but yes, the power of informal gatherings, the power of informal relationship cannot be discounted here. If we look at the instruction part, in the general instruction, issuing notices, orders, demanding compliance, that is basically the order of the day as of now, if we believe into the general concept of management. Whereas in IEM, we talk about making queries. We have to float ideas. We are not supposed to impose certain things or guidelines on them. We have to float ideas. We have to encourage suggestions, so that the person who is on the job can give me the suggestions, and those processes which are basically redundant can be re-engineered. So while implementing the day-to-day activities, by performing day-to-day activities, the BPR is going on. Business process re-engineering is going in a very obvious manner, in a very natural way. So that IEM concept, this is the power of that IEM concept, Indian Ethos in Management, where you have to simply float the ideas, you have to encourage suggestions. And the most powerful part of the change in mindset is that if you talk about the general prevailing concept of management, we have this rooted idea, established idea that I have to manage others, and it is basically I centered, that I am doing, I am managing, I am getting things done. This is what I have created. This is what is the attitude and aptitude of top management. Whereas in case of IEM concept, we basically tell them that you have to manage yourself, and it is not I centered, it is basically us. The central point is us. It is we who are actually working. So it is other centered, not egoistic. There is no place for ego into this. Ego is there, but there is no egoistic attitude which is coming between the boss and the subordinates. So the subordinates also realize that, see, this organization belongs to us and it is our job and we are supposed to perform. So my dear learners, these are the basic differences between the general concept of management and that of IEM concept. And I already told you in the previous lecture of mine about the several management concepts getting redefined. We are basically getting the new definition of those management concepts, whether it is the term management or productivity or planning or effective supervision or motivation of people. I told you that we are having n number of theories about motivation. We have Maslow's need hierarchy theory, we have XYZ theory, we have many other theories. But if we talk about if we take Indian ethos in management, we find that there is an emphasis on self motivation. What is the need of motivating somebody? What is the need of why do we need to motivate someone to work when they have that attitude that this is my job? So why don't we encourage our subordinate to be creative and give autonomy to them, in place of simply showing them the fear of stick, that see, if you don't perform, you will be shunted out. In place of saying that, why don't we say that this organization belongs to you? Why don't we ensure that they should be self-motivated? So that is going to create the surprising results. That is going to result into the surprising outcome of business enterprise. So those management concepts, gradually they are getting redefined, and people have started realizing, and that is why now it has become the part of course curriculum also. that now we have reached to that level where we have included the Indian knowledge system into the course curriculum, and I'm sharing with you the ideas of Indian ethos in management. So those terms are basically getting redefined. If we take up the rights and duties, the concept of rights and duties, in the general prevailing concept of management, the greater emphasis is on taking and giving. They basically talk about taking, not giving. Rights become primary and duties become subsidiary. So most of the people, they talk about having their own rights, that I should have this in the business organization wherever I'm working. These are my rights. This is what I need. This is the minimum requirement which my company is supposed to fulfill if they want me to work. This is what is going on as of now. Whereas if we follow the Indian ethics in management, the greater emphasis is on giving, not on taking. They are basically given this idea that duties are given great importance and rights assume secondary value. So imagine an organizational setup where everyone is so dutiful that nobody is bothered about their rights. They feel that if I'm performing my duties, rights will automatically follow. That will naturally follow. So the entire problem of conflict, because nowadays we talk about managing conflict management. So the entire root of conflict is because of giving the significance or the importance to the rights only. If we all have that sense of belongingness to the organization and we become dutiful, there is no point that we are going to face any kind of conflict. If we talk about the resources in prevailing as of now in prevailing Indian management, prevailing management concept, we talk about reliance almost on external resources. We feel that these resources are supposed to be collected and they are supposed to be organized, directed, controlled, actuated, and then if we motivate them, if we organize them and we direct them, we control them, we are able to get the desired results. Which is somehow, if it could have been so easy, then of course there would not have been any need of facing any organization facing the problem of not achieving their goals. So here is the solution to that problem, that is in the name of IEM, that is Indian Ethos in Management, and it has greater reliance almost on internal resources. So they basically feel that we should believe into our internal resources, and it is the workforce who is going to determine, and that is more powerful. So they are the one who are going to mobilize all other resources. Your each and every other resource will remain inactive unless you have an active workforce who is having that readiness to work. They have that readiness to work, they have that attitude and aptitude of working, making all the resources dynamic. You are not going to achieve your goal. And if you talk about the organizational structure, IEM basically advocates about organic evolution, what you call as giving autonomy to the entire organizational structure. There is no place of hierarchy. They don't believe into verticals. They feel that everyone should have the same feeling towards organization. They talk about 360-degree approach towards organizational achievement of organizational goals. If we talk about job satisfaction in the prevailing prevailing management theorem, it talks about hygiene factor, and their creativity is ignored. Whereas in IEM, creativity becomes the base. We talk about innovation, we talk about uniqueness, we talk about creating extraordinary results and troubleshooting. So these are basically the key differences where the key terms of management are getting redefined. So my dear learners, in due course of my discussion on the topic, I'll be telling you about the different other aspects where we have redefined the concept of management. And when we talk about business work ethics, the work ethos or work culture refers to certain norms of behavior governing the conduct of workers who are basically working in your business enterprise to achieve the desired goal. And work ethos at different levels of management are needed, not only at basic level but also at top level. If you feel that only your subordinates are supposed to follow the rules and regulations, or they are only supposed to have that sense of belongingness, you are not going to achieve your goals. You should have the similar kind of attitude and aptitude at both the levels, at top as well as at the basic level. Now, what are the possible reasons for poor work ethos? The first one is the lack of commitment. Somehow they are not able to connect with the goal of your organization, with the vision of your organization, and there is a lack of commitment, which is basically coming as a reason for poor work ethos. The second one is lack of discipline. And when we say discipline, the prefix of self is automatically included into it. We believe into the self-discipline, the concept of self-discipline when we talk about IEM. And of course, the poor working condition, the political interference, they also join the club of becoming a reason for poor work ethos. And there is no doubt declining moral standard. And when we talk about the Indian ethos in management, the integrity, honesty, and morality, that is the base of our Indian ethos in management. So how to improve the work culture in any business organization? We should pay them adequately for getting the higher productivity. We should provide attendance bonus to reduce absenteeism. Rather than punishing those who are basically coming late, we should start giving reward to those who are punctual. So if there is no absenteeism in the organization, what is the reward to that person? There is no punishment, but you are simply not punishing them. In place of punishing those who are not coming, why don't you start giving rewards to those who are regular at your workplace? And workers should be properly rewarded. That is always there, so that they can have that sense of belongingness. And there is an opportunity to participate in management decision making for them. You should also listen to them, because they are the one who are basically facing the battle in the ground. And political views should be neglected from day-to-day business operation. You should not include them. So this Indian ethos is going to improve the entire work culture. So with this idea of Indian ethos in management, my dear learners, I tried to give you the basic basic introduction of what Indian ethos is and what kind of change it is going to bring in our day-to-day operations of any business enterprise. So in the next lectures of mine, my dear learners, I'll be touching upon all the broad contours of management and where the Indian ethos come in great detail. I hope you must have enjoyed today's lecture of mine. Thank you so much.